Hello Galaxy Commanders and welcome back to another Infinite Galaxy video. Today I want to talk about the battle ring. I saw some other videos about it and I was very excited when watching them, but then I got a little bit disappointed because they only explained some very basic things about this, but didn't really tell you all behind it and how you can use it. So I want to show you what is a battle ring. Um, what do the colors mean? I mean, you already could see that in some of the other videos, but also how is HP related, how is leadership related, battle power, and the most important thing, how can you use this information? What is the advantage of looking at the battle ring? And this will be the video today. So to start with, I set up my Prontes with 1050 leadership of cruisers and 1050 leadership of frigates. And this will be now our first try. So we have two different warships and both times the same leadership. Now, when we go to an attack, we will see we do have a much bigger ring of frigates than we do have of cruisers. So blue color is frigates, yellow color is destroyers, orange color is cruisers. Good, so we already now know these rings do not show how much leadership you do have in your fleet. Okay, so let's have a look at the warships that we were using here. We were using tier 8 cruisers. They do have 6000 power per 30 leadership, and we did use tier 8 frigates, which have around 600 power per 3 leadership. So the power per leadership is around the same. So we also know this was not possible to be power. I can already tell you the power is the number shown in the middle of the ring. What we saw there is the HP. If you look here, we do get 2619 HP per 3 leadership. So that means we get 26,000 HP for 30 leadership. And here we only get 13,000. That's the difference you saw in the ring. That was the reason why the blue one was so much bigger than the orange one. So the frigates bring much more HP into your fleet than the cruisers if they have the same amount of leadership. That's one very, very important thing to know first. The bar that you can see there around the ring shows the HP of these warships, of the class of warship. There's also something that you can not see, and we will just make it very easy. We increase the number of cruisers dramatically. And if we now go to attack again, so we have 3.49, so nearly 3.5 million, nearly 3.5 million power, and you will see this is a number that will pop up in the middle of the ring when we attack. So here 3.4. Now we do have the green one, and very important, now you look, the blue one. The blue one went down and now nothing is moving. This is when your flagship is getting damaged. We will get this again, or let's say also you will see that the bar will go down slowly. I can make that better. Okay, so I did set up the fleet now with cruisers only, and I hope we can see something that happens when mainly your flagship is getting attacked. As you see, now nothing is moving, neither the HP bar nor the numbers, and then suddenly the numbers dropped down by 500,000, and now the bar is continuously getting smaller. So This shows you that the HP from the flagship is not shown in the circle. The power of the flagship is. Um, so what do we now know about the ring? We do have the power in the middle. We do have the HP of the warships on the outer side. And that's the most important thing. Blue color is frigates, yellow color is destroyers, and orange color is from cruisers. And the question or the important part there is also
Flagship.
how can you use that? So two things you can learn from this. First, when you attack other fleets or pirates, you can see how their fleet composition is even without doing a scout on them. And if you have trouble, you may be able to change your warships based on that because
Ship
keep in
building.
mind, um, you always have cruisers doing 15% extra damage versus cruisers doing 15% extra damage versus destroyers, destroyers doing 15% extra damage versus frigates doing 15% extra damage versus cruisers. And the other way around, um, cruisers do 15% less damage versus frigates do 15% less damage versus destroyers, and destroyers do 15% less damage versus cruisers. So at the end, there is a 30% gap if you combine damage taken and damage done. Um,
Flagship.
and now, where is this important? There are certain flagships that do have skills that only activate um, if your HP is above 70% or if your HP is below 50%. As you can see here, the Titan increases attack when the total HP of the deployed fleet is less than 50%. Um, how can we use this? So, pretty simple. You need to have a piece of paper or you need to have Excel, or you just do it by using the visuals from the ring, but that will take you a few tries. The best thing to set this up is having 50% of your total HP in frigates, because frigates die fastest. And 50% of the HP you would keep in the flagship and cruisers, because flagships and cruisers survive longest. So now you can add a little bit of the frigate HP and move it to destroyer HP. Frigates and destroyers usually have higher HP, at least than your cruisers, but they will also die always before your cruisers. So to get the most out of a skill like this, you want to make sure that you have this kind of yeah, HP shield in form of frigates, but it must or it should be 50%, because else what can happen, depending on how you set up your flagship, that your flagship dies before your cruiser dies, and that would be very yeah, bad. The other thing is there are flagships. Let me think which one got that. Um, there's also the 50%, but we do also have flagships with here. Increase the armor when the total HP of the deployed fleet is higher than 70%. So here we go exactly the other way around. Um, in this case, you want to have, let's say, you want to push the armor of your frigs to survive longer, to be more tanky, um, then you already know as soon as you lose 30% of the HP in frigs, you will lose this skill. And therefore, it could make sense that you say, okay, I will set up 30% of my fleet in missile frigs, because missile frigs do have the highest armor ratio in game. So get 30% of your HP into missile frigs, get the boost up to 144%, that is huge, let them tank, and as soon as the 30% are gone, you will also lose this buff, and then you just go, for me in this case I would go directly to cruisers, but you can also always go to destroyers or um, yeah, better cruisers. So this is how you can take advantage of this ring. First, you can identify the fleet composition of your enemy. If you see that you struggle defeating the enemy, um, you can adjust your own fleet composition. Second, you get a very good idea how your fleet is set up, and you should use this knowledge to make sure that it fits the flagship skills that you may use. If you use the Brontos, like me, I love the Brontos, I use this mainly. You just check, okay, skill 2 nothing, skill 3 nothing, skill 4, skill 5. Aha, here we do have it. Increase the damage when the total HP of the deployed fleet is higher than 70%. So as long as I'm above 70%, I do have higher damage. And that's the reason also why I will not recommend you to run the Brontos with a lot of frigates. The frigates have high HP per leadership and they die first. So the faster you lose these 30%, the faster you will lose the additional attack bonus. Hey, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you learned something. As usual, subscribe to the channel if you didn't subscribe yet. Give the video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you also on the Happy Galaxy Gaming Discord. And till then, see you on the next video.